You know, the Pillsbury channel has been a channel since 2009. As a channel making videos, I've only been doing that for about 6 months now. And ultimately, I made the decision to pull the trigger on doing something like that solely because of the fucking vast ocean of voices that I just would hear and immediately, just with any sort of bit of reason or common sense, would just know this is fucking stupid. So for that reason and the millions upon millions of what the mainstream is and what any sort of promoted video or channel would be, I figure fuck it, just throw my hat in the ring. Just put my voice out there, connects with anybody, that'd be great. But if anything, at least I'm trying to be that counter to the narrative that I just think is the looniest of all loony. And this video that we're about to touch on could be no better example of the type of videos I'm talking about that are just utter buffoonery. The name of this video, Why Transgender Women Belong in Women's Sports. 118,000 views, 12,000 thumbs ups. The whole video is just nonsense. Non sequiturs, ad homs, straw mans, gaslighting. I mean, like, it runs the whole gambit. So we're gonna hit on this video because it touches every little bit of fucking Looney Tune pegboard here. With me? Let's fucking do it.
I guess I'll share my opinions on this. A lot of people don't know about my past. I've always wanted to go viral for something good, not this.
Hi, I'm AJ. The trans athletes discussion feels...
Hi, I'm Pillsbury. This guy AJ likes to do a lot of audio but not be in the picture.
Trans athletes discussion feels inescapable these days, and I think it's because competition is really at the core of American culture.
I mean, I guess by that same logic, you could say just about any country on this fucking world. Competition is at the core of the culture. I mean, as big as football is around this globe, you think that's at the core of the Saudi Arabians' culture or the Indians' culture because they love football or wherever? You know what I mean? I guess you could argue either way that sports would be at the center of the culture. I don't think it is. I mean, it's definitely a big piece. But let's go, AJ. I'm ready.
Team sports are how I avoided boredom, released energy, socialized, and learned important skills like how to win with class and how to lose with grace. I've always been an extremely hard worker when I cared about something, and that helped me excel in sports.
I mean, maybe I'm reading a little too much into this guy, but you only worked hard when you cared about something? Or was it just you worked harder when you cared about something? I would argue that you would work hard and no matter what you're doing, cared or not, but reading too much into it, I know.
I played varsity football my freshman year. I was often chosen to be a team captain and won multiple state championships, but I was never able to take it to that next level. Even though I benched over 250 pounds, squatted over 350, and ran a 4.5 40-yard dash at 5'8", 165, I just wasn't big enough to be taken seriously by colleges.
5'8", 165? I mean, is the argument that there are no 5'8" players in the NFL? I mean, I imagine that there are some. I mean, dude was real proud of those numbers, too. I could bench 250 and deadlift this and that. Dude looks like he's still wearing the same fucking jersey. I mean, am I mistaken? Are those not the same jerseys right here? That's him in high school? That's him here today? Like, dude still got the fucking same goddamn football jersey on. Holy shit, AJ. Change your shirt, bro.
I know what it's like to put all of your eggs in the sports basket, work your ass off, and get dismissed because another athlete was more biologically compatible with the sport that I chose.
Yo, this dude's got a whole stick up his ass about not making the goddamn team, don't he? Bro, it's not just more biologically compatible. You just wasn't fucking good enough. Get over it. Fucking do something else. It's what thousands upon thousands of high school players go through every fucking year with an aspiration and dream to make it to the big league, but they didn't have enough. That happens to millions of kids. Like, you're still stuck on it. I don't know if this is like your whole setup to why you think fucking trans women should be playing against women or not. Not everybody makes it. That's what makes it so great when somebody actually does make it. If everybody could do it, it wouldn't fucking be worth goddamn doing. Sorry you didn't fucking make the cut. Get over it.
I can relate on a personal level to the athletes who are forming these anti-trans sports organizations.
There we go. Anti-trans sports organizations. Okay. Okay.
But I also love trans people.
Oh, but I... Do you, bruh? All of them? All of them. As a whole, you love trans people? I mean, that's a really fucking weird foundation to build this whole video off of. But I love trans people.
So I hope to provide a unique perspective in helping Sarah tell her story. The primary audience of this video is anyone that has doubts at all that trans women belong in women's sport.
Well, I guess this is to me then, because I've got doubts, big fucking doubts, that trans women should be playing against actual legitimate women in sports. Not if it's a designated for female sport, but that's me. You're talking to me here, AJ. Bring it.
I would love nothing more than to convince you that they do, but honestly, I'm more interested in showing you how hard it is for trans people to participate in society, because that perspective shapes my opinion a lot.
I can already tell that. I can already tell that you allow how they live in society to dictate how they should just be able to do anything that anybody would want to do. But that's not the fucking way it works. Any team, any sport, there's only so many people that can make any sort of team. Not everybody's going to make it. Actual real females won't make it if they're not fucking good enough. Not just, oh my God, yo, well, this one's trans, so they're special, so let's treat them differently than anybody else. No, bro. You start doing that trans stuff, doing HRT and testosterone and all that stuff, you're out. You're fucking out. Sorry.
For trans viewers, I have a different intent. I know how many of you are doom scrolling your feed-based social media app of choice, probably Twitter, and feeling despair because of the amount of hate that you're seeing. I want to show you that good things are happening too, but you're not seeing it because there's so much noise on these platforms hiding the signal. In certain sections of this video, I'm going to be showing extremely transphobic shit.
Extremely transphobic shit. I got a real good vibe. He's gaslighting and being hyperbolic as shit. I'll tell you, man, because these motherfuckers call anything extremely transphobic. Transphobic is just disagreeing with a trans person. You have any sense of bit of a disagreement with a trans person, you're transphobic.
With Sarah's full consent and cooperation, because I think it's important for the people who even softly support these movements pushing against trans rights to see and feel a little bit of it. With the content warning over, we're going to get into it. But step 0 is I need to get you up to speed on pickleball.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in America.
Nobody needs to be called out of speed about pickleball. Let's get to the meat of your fucking argument of why trans women should be playing with fucking women, dude. I'm telling you, it's a whole lot of this. It's a whole lot of nothing. Give me the argument, AJ. Give me your argument.
Sarah Weiss from Heck Yeah Pickleball. Happy pickleballing, everyone, and much love. Mwah.
All of this hate towards Sarah originated from a single Twitter account called Icons, a 501c3. They use an extremely thin wallpaper of women's rights to mask the fact that they are a trans hate group.
Holy shit. Run all that back real quick. Run that back. That's a whole lot in that one little, watch it. Watch them.
All of this hate towards Sarah originated from a single Twitter account called Icons.
It's an organization that works to protect women categories in sports. That's their whole thing.
A 501c3. They use an extremely thin wallpaper of women's rights
An extremely thin wallpaper of women's rights.
to mask the fact that they are a trans hate group with zero interest in broader women's rights topics like abortion.
Why would they have interest in broader women's topics when it's just a women's sports group? That's their whole thing. They protect female category of sports. What the fuck would abortion have to do with anything? And then God forbid, they don't want trans women in it. Suddenly, because they're not worried about abortion, that they're not a real woman's group? Bro, that's a real corny foundation for an argument there. I don't know where you got, that's just a real out of left field, wacky, like what?
I mean, really, in this country, what keeps more women from participating in sports? Trans athletes or pregnancy?
Trans athletes. Yes, because women that are in sports that are attempting a goal or something would be taking preventions to avoid becoming pregnant. God forbid, like what the fuck kind of argument is that? Because this makes no fucking sense. To make an abortion argument connected to the trans issue in women's sports, it's just dishonest as shit. And it bears nothing on the fact that these women would be trying to keep men out of women's sports. So therefore, oh man, you're not fighting for abortion rights. No, bro, they're not fucking worried about abortion. They're worried about protecting women's and women's sports. Period.
These people's interest in women's rights begins and ends with trans women specifically.
They're fighting for the women-designated sport to stay a woman-designated sport. It doesn't then mean that they have to fight for every little fucking thing that would be deemed a woman's right.
Being laser focused on a single issue makes it easier to move their audience from attacking one trans person to the next.
They're laser focused on the one issue because that's their only fucking issue that they fight for. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't they be laser focused on an issue that was important to what they fight for, which is protecting women's sports?
They run the same playbook using the same attacks with the same propaganda.
Bro, they do the same playbook with the same attack, with the same whatever you want to call it, because it's the same thing. It's the only fight they're fighting is to keep men out of women's sports. So it doesn't need to have 100 different playbooks when they're only fighting one fucking issue. keep men out of women's sports.
Even when it doesn't apply or make sense.
When they're fighting to defend women's sports. It always applies and it always makes sense.
Because they know most people won't ever figure that out. These people have dogmatic beliefs and enter into the conversations completely closed off from hearing a different perspective. So
what different perspective would they need to hear? Your cornball perspective? That's suddenly, a man who lived 30 fucking years and started HRT for a couple years, got some plastic surgery, is now a female? Is that the different perspective you want somebody to hear? It's not a perspective anybody needs to hear with a bit of fucking sense. You just want to be dishonest and just tear down any sort of reality. And then suddenly people got a problem with it. Oh, they just got dogmatic beliefs. No, bro. Their feet are on the ground. They're living in reality. It's you that's not. You're the one with the dogmatic ideological bullshit.
Sarah's been on hormone replacement therapy for 9 years.
Still, he's still...
completed multiple surgeries, including gender reassignment, and has 2 biological children.
She didn't give birth to him. She fathered 2 children. And she's got 2 children as a man. He impregnated a woman. Okay, so what? He's a dad. He's got 2 kids. That doesn't then mean, we just go let him play as a woman. Get the fuck out of here.
Sarah was living the dream of many trans people, which is to just be stealth.
A stealth transgender person is one who has transitioned to live in a different gender and who is not informing those around them of their gender history. So this person that he's going to use as the example of why transgender women should play with women is this person transitioned and then moved somewhere new where nobody knew him from before and lied to everybody. That's the foundation for this entire argument, is somebody who has created a lie and is living a lie and is lying to everyone they know. So I guess these are the people that we should be listening to, right? The people who lie to everyone about everything. Hard pass. Stealth that shit somewhere else.
Existing invisibly in society so that she could have as close to a normal life as possible.
She wasn't existing invisibly. She was lying. She's been lying to everybody. That's what it is. Oh no, just wait till you hear the story, because it's a whole thing. Like, she's got people completely believing she was a woman, and then she wanted to be part of a sports organization playing against other women, and then people found out. That's what happened. Was 30 years a man, was married, had 2 children, did all the transition stuff, moved from Canada to Florida, and went into that world as a woman. Ended up on a doubles pickleball team, which was man-woman against a man and a woman. Somebody somewhere found out who she really was and put it out there. Like, this is technically 2 men against a man and a woman. That's the whole foundation for this person and why he's even bringing this story up, as living as stealth. No, she was lying. She was lying to everybody, lying about everything.
That is until she picked up a racket and decided to get serious about a game she enjoys.
Then just go play for fun. If it's a game you enjoy, go play for fun. But God forbid you want to play a game that's got rules, that is separated by sex in one way or another. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to participate. Decisions and things that you have done with your life have excluded you from that. You've excluded yourself once you've done that. Nobody else has to change the rules of anything to make you happy. That's not the way we do things. People get excluded all the time. Oh, somebody is always excluded. Not good enough, never be good enough, doesn't work hard enough. Lots of reasons why, but people get excluded all the time. But this person who was a man for 30 years, 25 years, however long it was, wants to turn into a woman, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to just let her go out there and play against actual real women. That'll never be or do the things that she's capable of doing.
Sarah had no idea that there were these organizations in other countries, because she's Canadian and Icons is American, that would have so little regard for her life that they would proudly, publicly upend it.
She's in Florida. Has nothing to do with this. She's Canadian. She's in Florida. Unless I'm wrong somewhere, like I might have misheard that when I listened to this the first go round. The fact that Icons is American has nothing to do with the fact, all they're doing is pointing out, it's not a woman. It's not a woman. These people protect women, females in female sports. They found out she's not one, so they let people know. Sorry, that's just the fucking reality. Go play for fun if you want to play for fun. I'm trying to tell you, her partner didn't even know. Her actual partner thought she was a real fucking woman. Oh, just wait, bro. This story's nuts.
Over pickleball.
Pickleball or what, bro? It could be fucking badminton. It don't matter, bro. If it's a designated sport with rules and separations, you gotta go with who you are, not who you want to be.
Regardless of our disagreements or other things you want to debate around this topic, hopefully you can agree that what they did to Sarah was really fucked up.
What's more fucked up? Somebody lying about their entire life? Somebody lying to everybody they know about everything they've ever done, who they really are? Or an organization that was created to protect women in women's sports from a man acting like a woman, beating other women? I mean, who's the more fucked up here? We could argue potato, bro, but I mean, I'd bet anybody with a lick of sense already knows who the more fucked up of the two here is. And it's not icons.
There was a Twitter post from a movement that was very against me playing in women's events, which was news to a lot of people, that I even have the past that I do, including my mixed doubles partner. He called me, he's like, you should sue them for personal defamation. How, like, you got to prove that this isn't true. I'm like, you don't think it's true? He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what they're saying about my past, about, the gender I grew up in, yeah, it's true.
The gender I grew up in. The gender I grew up. Yo, you were a man. You are a man. Your entire biology makeup of everything in your body is a man. Sorry, it's unfortunate. I get it. I'm not even trying to be mean, but that's just the reality here. You're lying and hiding things from people. Her partner didn't even know. She's playing in a mixed double, whatever it is. It's man-woman against a man-woman. Yo, her partner saw this story, calls her, and is like, yo, you need to sue these people for defamation. It's not true, right? Oh, you really thought I was a woman? Oh my God, yo, so, you've been tricking everybody. You tricked everybody.
He's like, what?
That's a nice cut. Nice. He said, what?
He's like, what?
I'd love to know how that little thread went right there, but you cut that off real hard.
Spent this week, there was some darkness. Like, I'm telling you, I was hurting for about 24 hours.
Watch this whole for the next however long and not a single tear come out. Not a single tear come out, and I get it. I know some people gonna take me being an asshole here. Yo, you're lying. You're lying to everybody. You lied to everybody you're around. You lied to your teammates about who you really are. Because if somebody would have known, they would have said, yo, we can't do this. This ain't fair to the woman that's on the other team. You being a man for 30 years was a bricklayer and all sorts of shit, bro. It's insane, bro. Like, yo, the first time I heard the story, I was like, hold up, what? You did what?
It hurt to see so many people spew hatred towards me.
God doesn't lie or make mistakes. I pray that you will find to realize this someday and surrender yourself to God's will, not your own. God bless. I'm sorry if this sounds disrespectful, but you were not born a different gender. By saying that, you're saying God is a liar and made a mistake. That's not hateful. I mean, at least like my barometer of what's hateful and what isn't. When I hear the word hateful, I think terrible shit. You hear somebody saying, hey bro, God don't make mistakes. And I'm not a religious person. I'm never going to argue from a place of religion or what God or what not. It's right and wrong with me. It's what I think is right. It's what I think is wrong. And that's how I'm going to argue it. I'm not going to argue from God. But yo, you put these comments up here that aren't anywhere near hateful. And it's just like she's fighting back tears the whole time. And this is the worst you got. If I see something hateful, I'll say, hey bro, that's hateful and that's wrong and they shouldn't have said it. But so far, you haven't showed me anything that's hateful.
And my ego wanted to hurt. It was all ego. Because here's what's so cool. This social media movement in the background was very hurtful. It was dark. It was mean. It was ruthless. It was intense. The stuff people were saying about me who don't know me was really dark.
Okay, see, I get all this, and I get it probably hurt her. I get it probably wrecked her whole world. I get all those things, and it's terrible. I'm sure it was painful. But shorty, you built a lie. You built a life that was a lie. You lied to everybody you know. You lied in every fucking turn of your life, setting this whole world that you were living. People found out that you're lying about it, and now you're hurt that people are like, hold up, she's been lying to me for this long? I mean, like, yo, people don't like liars. People don't like being lied to. People don't like being deceived. People don't like feeling like they were tricked. I guarantee that's how a lot of these people felt. I can only imagine what your partner felt like. The guy who was actually playing with you, thinking it was, yo, man, I got the best chick in the world. Man, me and this chick, we're going to kill the whole world at pickleball. And then he found out and was like, I guess that makes a lot of sense why we was undefeated and just crushing them. Make a lot of sense to me, at least. Okay, I'm going to get through all this because this is nothing but her and just her kind of pity party about losing all the things that she had gained because she lied about everything and lied to everybody. We're going to fast forward to the meat of this guy's argument of why trans women belong in women's sports. Ready? Sports are unfair by design.
Team sports like soccer, but I also enjoy the purity of the single event competition style sports like track and field. And yeah,
I just can't get over the fact that you're still wearing your high school football jersey. Like, you like Uncle Rico or something?
I get it's still a team competition with everyone's performance being added up to a final victory at the end, but I only ever gave a shit about how I did.
Oh, I bet that was a real smug. I only give a shit how I did. But we're now supposed to be listening to your arguments about why women, females, should give up the spaces that were designated for them and them alone. Now, the person who only gave a shit about how they did,
I only ever gave a shit about how I did,
is now making the argument of how females and women need to give up their place.
even in a short 100-meter race, you realize that there are quick people and there are fast people. I was the former.
There's quick people and fast people. Like, bro, what is this argument you're making? None of these arguments that you're going to make are good arguments to say forego the women's category. Because if that's the case, we just get rid of all sex separated sports. The best man or woman who is will make the fucking team. But God forbid, you're arguing for a woman designated sport to allow men in them. Good God almighty.
Other sprinters who had higher top end speed than me would usually do the 200 or 400 meter dash as their final event, but the 110 meter hurdles fit my quickness better.
What was the whole setup about the 200 and the 400 and the 100 this and quick and fast and blah, 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 blah. But man, I like the hurdles. Oh, bro, you could just people legitimately think they're making good arguments.
And it was no time before I was crushing the best hurdlers from every school in my district, even as a sophomore. My senior year, I was stoked for the chance to be the best hurdler in the state of Alaska back in 2004. I was in the best athletic shape of my life, completely focused on the 14 seconds it was going to take to get to the finish line. But when I lined up next to the other 7 hurdlers, I realized I was the only one under 6 foot.
You got a real hang up about your height, don't you? And I'm sorry about it, but I mean, that's life, bro. Tall people, short people, middle people, fat people, wide people, long. I mean, bro, it runs the whole gambit of who you could be. Unfortunately, you ended up being who you are. Get fucking over it.
All of us had to clear the same 42-inch hurdles, but only one of us had to jump over them.
Bro, everybody had to jump over it. Yeah, everybody fucking had to do the same thing you did. So what if they're taller? It don't mean they're guaranteed to win because they're fucking taller than you. There was a trans woman who tried to bring up the high jump and how there was a foot difference between the 10th place person and the first place person.
Because we allow all kinds of competitive advantages within women's sport. So one example I love to talk about is the 2016 Rio Olympic women's high jump final. First place was over 6'3", 10th place was 5'5". So a 10.5-inch height difference between first and 10th at the Olympics in high jump.
Right.
And we call that fair.
Okay.
Now, you know me. When someone cites something, I like to look it up. Let's look at the 2016 Rio Olympics high jump. Now, I expected that all the tall women would be at the top and all the short women would be at the bottom. That's why she was pointing it out. If you're taller, you have an unfair advantage and you're unlikely to be able to win. Now, Veronica Ivy was correct. The first place winner in high jump was 6'3", and the 10th place woman was 5'5". But when you look at the competition as a whole, you quickly see that Veronica Ivy is being misleading and deceptive. See, the second place or silver medalist was just 5'11". The third place finisher, she was 6'4". The fourth place finisher was 5'9", and the fifth place finisher was 6'2". So it seems like even though there are some people who are taller than others, height doesn't really determine how you're going to do in this event. And it seems like Veronica Ivy is intentionally misleading people about the high jump by literally cherry picking the stats. Why didn't she say the silver medalist was 5'11" and the third place or the bronze finisher was 6'4"? That destroys her argument.
In that 14 seconds, I watched as my first place position right out of the blocks evaporated one hurdle after the next when I was passed by the other athletes casually stepping over their obstacles.
Bro, they wasn't casually stepping, they was balling. They was fucking running faster than you just can. Get over it.
Fuckers. Not that I'm angry 18 years later.
Oh, bro, you angry. Bro, you still got that stick up your ass about this shit. And it's weird. It's fucking weird. Like when people sit here and just whine about losing the state championship, however many fucking long years ago it was, in a video that's titled, "Why Transgender Women Belong in Women's Sports." Let's hear a dude whine about losing.
That sixth place state finish was such a disappointment after having so much success. Today, I still carry some of those negative emotions.
Bro, we can tell. It comes through the screen as you just dwell on it. Like you're fucking still soaking in it. You're still soaking in a misery from however long ago it was, bro. Let it go.
But what's changed is that instead of resenting the other athletes because they just happen to get the tall genes,
it ain't just the tall genes, bro. They were faster than you. They was faster than you. They could jump higher than you. Cope.
I wonder why my hurdles had to be the same height as theirs. Why 42 inches?
Because that's the way it works. I tell you, bro, you look at the history of the hurdles. I guarantee you there's shorter people that'll beat taller people. It ain't just a guarantee if somebody's taller that they're automatically going to beat the shorter person. And if anybody like truly believes that, they're just stuck in stupid. But it ain't just some like guaranteed somebody taller is guaranteed going to beat somebody shorter at the hurdles.
Why not 39 inches, which is what the women's were at? Or just maybe, I don't know, hip level for every athlete?
This dude is butthurt about losing that motherfucker hurdles. He just wishes that he could have made the rules to fit his body better than other people's, and somehow he'd have won that way. Bro, you'd have still fucking lost. They'd have gave you no hurdles, and he'd have fucking lost the goddamn race.
Deeply understand these sports, and so can think a little more abstractly about them. You see that there is just so much inherent biological unfairness.
No. You want to make it this big deal because you fucking got short man complex. Men against the men, females against the females. Unless you want to get rid of all separation. That'd be the only thing I'd ever give you. If you want to just do that, just get rid of all, it's going to suck for the women. Boy, will it suck for the women. There won't be a woman winner forever. There might be 1 in a billion.
If you do truly, sincerely care about fairness in sports, then maybe we should focus on making games less weighted towards specific physical, immutable characteristics like height.
Bro, you're stuck on the height. You're stuck on the height because unfortunately, bro, you're fucking short. Fucking cope. Get over it. It doesn't mean because now you're short and you got this hung up on fucking being that goddamn short that we should therefore let men who think they're women play against the women. That's a stupid fucking argument. Everybody, that's got this thing in their head, we'll just break it down into a million different things. We'll break it down to, okay, you gotta be this tall and then you be in this category. Okay, this heavy, this category. Hips, this tall, and you be in this category. No, bro. Men against the men, women against the women. It's that fucking simple. People will have advantages over other people. That's just the fucking way it is. Get over it.
Only then will it be about who trained the most and wanted it more.
There's no metric for who wanted it more. It's who the better one was. And you ain't been it. Sorry. Like there's a lot of 5'8" motherfuckers play football that could bench 250 and do all this shit you could do. That just, you ain't got it. You're not made for it. There's 6'5" motherfuckers that'll bench 320 pounds that just ain't gonna make it.
As I've gotten older, my interest in high-level competitive sports has really fallen off a cliff.
I could tell with the way you're hanging on to that high school jersey. I can't imagine walking out the house wearing my old high school football jersey. That's like, I don't get what's going on there, but there's something going on there. I can't quite pinpoint it. But there's a whole lot of something going on there. The fact you put this high school football jersey on and then think that's going to make somebody think, oh, but this guy knows sports. He's still got his high school football jersey. Let's hear him out. Probably make a good point. No, bro, you make some stupid fucking points.
It started with the realization of how exploited football players are at the college level, making millions of dollars and bringing prestige to their school for fucking table scraps.
What does this have to do with women and trans women? What the fuck does what a college player of anything have to do with trans women playing against women, bro? This is a whole nother argument entirely. Bro, do you get it though? I mean, you get what I'm saying. I'm assuming anybody with a bit of sense gets what I mean. Bro, these people will just throw it all. They'll throw it all against the wall and just hope anybody less fucking intelligent will just, colleges should pay their players better. And because they don't pay their players better, let's let men go into the women's league.
CTE wasn't a thing I was ever informed about until after my football days were over.
Bro, he's now talking about CTE. He's now talking about brain damage from football players. The title of this video, Why Transgender Women Belong in Women's Sports. 12,000 upvotes, 116,000 views. This dude has made the argument college players don't get paid enough. CTE is brain damage in NFL players. In the state Alaskan high school hurdle championship, he ran against taller people. People make these fucking arguments like, oh my God, bro. Like, this is clown world.
And there is no way to know how extensive the damage is to my brain until I'm fucking dead.
You played some high school fucking football. What fucking actual brain damage do you think you got from playing a goddamn couple years of high school fucking football, dude? Holy shit. And God forbid you did. Sorry, but that don't now mean that we let men play against the fucking women.
I have a family history of dementia. I'm afraid for my own mental health.
Okay, bro, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I fucking got. But this is what I mean. They will just muddy the water with every little emotional little trick that they fucking can. Just say, oh man, well, there's unfairness between men, so therefore we just let men who think they're women play against the women. No, dude. No fucking no. And this woman that you're defending, this whole fucking video, lied to everybody she knows. If people would have known who she was from the very beginning, she'd have never been in the position she was to have gotten called out for it. For that fact that she lied to everybody she knew. Her teammate didn't even fucking know that she was a born man. She's a natural man. The biology of her body is a man. Hormone replacement therapies, surgeries be damned. It is unfair to the women across the net from her. I'm playing with your rules with a cis fucking woman. It's a fucking cis goddamn woman across that net against a man who lived 30 years of his life as a man, who fathered 2 children. The point you thought was so important to 2 children is a man. And unfortunately, she was in the position she was because she lied to everybody. She was playing that stealth shit and got her in that situation. I'm sure she made a lot of friends. I'm sure there was a lot of nice people. I'm sure there was an environment that she really liked to be in. She should have been honest from the gate, and she'd have never been in the position she was. It's unfortunate. But bro, we've got this whole flipped upside down world in which, oh, well, there's natural disadvantages between body types and men. So therefore, we let men play against the women, trans women or not. They're fucking men, bro. They went through puberty as a man. And then, bro, it even blows my mind even more. Once they start making the rules of, oh, any man who went through puberty will not be allowed. Meaning that they will allow a child who was blocked puberty, a child that they would block the puberty of, to in turn in the future be able to let them play against the women. What kind of games are y'all playing with people's lives at that point? You all are willing to block the puberty of an 11-year-old boy in hopes that in college he could play women's sports. Is that just not just the baddest thing you've ever even thought? You hear it, and it's just, you wonder, like, are we on the same dimension? Are we on the same fucking planet? That these people would play a game with the 8, 9, 10-year-old child's puberty, with their body, with their life, with their fucking lives, in the hopes that they can play against the gender they wish they were in the future? Bro, that's as loony as the arguments you was making, AJ. That is just as, if not more, loonier than anything you brought up at the college pay, CTE brain injuries, the hurdle heights, because your short little ass had problem getting over top of them. Fucking get over it, bro. You get over it just like everybody else needs to get over it. Come to peace with who you are as a person. We are who we are. Medications won't make us who we are. Gender affirming care will not make us who we are. We are naturally who we are. I can only be me. You can only be you. Cope.